you like a helmet just like this, go over to greengrind.com and shop some of your favorite mini and life-size replica helmets. They have, you can add, of course, the visor, the chin strap, different helmet types as well. On the website, they have NCAA teams, they have all the NFL teams. You can go in there and shop some of your favorite sports football teams and get a helmet replica just like this. So go over there, use my promo code PITSYN at checkout as well, PITSYN, get yourself a discount at checkout. So go over there and shop now. All right, viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. Today we're discussing, of course, prospects the Steelers could possibly, draft in the first round, like that. 5 prospects I'm thinking the Steelers can go in the first round. And two prospects are guys who I wish and hope we can get, but the other 3 are guys who I feel like the Steelers have a big time chance of getting. Starting off first, of course, Kenneth Grant. Kenneth Grant is a name that's been circulating around for a lot. We've seen his name in different mini mock drafts, different mini predictions, and all type of things. The Steelers need a D lineman up front, need a big body up front, an anchor who can hold that front line, who can be able to stop the run. We've seen the Steelers get dominated in the rushing game. That playoff game against the Ravens rushed for 300 yards in that game. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry just thrashed them. And then the Ravens game, the second one we played the Ravens thrashed us as well. You get thrashed by the Eagles and all different teams, of course, just being able to run the ball on you and dominate you. That's kind of been our knack, especially the past few years as well, stopping the run consistently over a long period of time. We did a better job last year overall, but at the end of the season, when it matters the most, it fell short and messed things up. And, people start getting injured. Matrevius Adams and, we released them now. Valerio Gonjobi, he was another guy too as well. Those guys didn't stay healthy and stay out there, so we just had to revert to getting different pieces right there and was able to get everything done. So bringing in Kenneth Grant to pair with Cam Bennings and the Cam Haywards, of course, will be very cool to do. And we'll see how things shape out. Maybe draft another D lineman later rounds as well to see how kind of bolster up that D line, of course. Another guy, of course, will be to go is Amari Hampton. Amari Hampton is another guy that you can go in the first round as well. I think Amari Hampton has that unique ability to be an explosive playmaker, over 1,700 plus scrimmage yards the past 2 seasons, including 2,000 scrimmage yards last year. He's a dual threat running back, explosive player. The Steelers want to add playmakers. You want to add versatility to your offense. You want to have explosiveness to your offense. You had a guy like Amari Hampton. He'd be a guy who might be available around the time you're picking in 21. If you want to go full offense and get this thing booming, get this thing blown up, you can go out there and bring Amari Hampton in. He's a guy who's very versatile, a guy who is very dominant, explosive, game-changing speed as well, and will be a big-time force for your team. We've seen, of course, the Saquon Barkleys, the Bijan Robinsons, and all the different running backs who come out the draft and have initial impact for a team. I feel like Amari Hampton is one of those guys as well who can have initial impact for your team and go out there and do amazing things for you. So I think he'll be another first-round option you can go with as well. Another first-round option as well you can go with is, of course, Derrick Harmon. Derrick Harmon, big D lineman as well, like that. A guy who can hold the front as well. Good pass rusher as well too. Versatility. So at the same time I mentioned earlier about, of course, Kenneth Grant. Similar aspect of being an anchor and being on something you can plan and build around for the future. You can build that front up and stuff. So Derrick Harmon would be another guy you could bring in to be up in that front to lock some stuff down. Now, the 2 other guys that I have on my list, I feel like are guys who the Steelers could possibly, well, actually, I'm gonna say 3 other guys. I might add another guy in there too. But 3 other guys on my list I feel like the Steelers could possibly go with. Now this guy right here I'm about to mention is another guy the Steelers could go with without anything crazy happening, of course. And I think this guy will be Emeka Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka could possibly be a first-round pick for the Steelers if the Steelers decide to go full-blown and say, hey, we're not gonna be able to keep GP, so we might as well draft the top receiver this year in the draft, and then we'll trade GP. Maybe you trade him this year, but maybe you'll just see how things shape out, and then you'll just kind of roll with Emeka Egbuka. I feel like TJ Watt contract is coming up, and GP contract is coming up as well. And I don't know if you can pay both. I don't know if you can pay both or not. Like, because you pay TJ Watt that 30 plus, was it 33 million a year? Yeah, if you got to pay him around that range, I mean 40 million actually, 40 million a year, around that range. With Myles Garrett's getting paid around that, like kind of like range that would hit like kind of the average. It might be the exact same number, but around that area. It's going to be very hard to kind of pay GP, because GP might be asking for, 23 million a year, 24 million a year, and will you be able to pay that? We don't know. Now you're not paying a quarterback, so you might have the money available to pay that. You're not paying a quarterback right now, but you got to see if you want to be willing to do that and see the cap space you have available and see the things you might have to move around and see what happens. So you could go the approach of maybe bringing in a receiver high up in the draft, maybe first rounder. Like I mentioned, Mike Buka and other guys too. Matthew Golden is cool as well. Luther Burden, all the different guys too as well. Bring a receiver high up in the draft, and then see be like a future replacement for GP. You never know what could happen. I feel like the Steelers could go that approach. Usually re-sign guys after year 3. The Steelers haven't re-signed GP to extension or anything like that. They seen the antics happen. They did trade for DK Metcalf and pay him $33 million a year as the number one option. And I still have that same thought that if Roman Wilson would have played last year, he only played 3 snaps because he got injured. But if he would have played last year and had a pretty good season, like he put up 700, 800 yards, I thought the Steelers would have traded GP this offseason. That's my opinion right there. I feel like the Steelers would have did that. They're looking at it like, hey, we can kind of go that approach really, because it's like, hey, we don't want to pay this guy the antics and everything that's happening. We can kind of get off of this guy and stay with this guy and pair him, and make a big move too, because they kind of have plans already. Because DK Metcalf has been on their radar for the past year and a half. They've been talking about making a move for him, and they finally got him. So they did that approach. So we have to see, maybe they might do that approach this following year. They draft the high receiver and then see what things shape out, and then use that receiver to replace GP, and you have the DK Metcalf and then Mike Buka, or DK Metcalf, Luther Burden, or DK Metcalf and Matthew Golden, whichever one. That'd be very interesting to see. Another guy, of course, on my list as well, another far-fetched scenario as well, is Mason Graham. Mason Graham would be phenomenal to add to the roster. Big-time D lineman, pass rusher, just a destroyer of the line like that, disruptor, showing he can beat double teams consistently. He plays very good in the run game and short yardage situations and stuff as well. Just finding a way just to create havoc like that. And sometimes his own dominance, it opens up a lot more for other people as well. So imagine him on the line with TJ Watt on the edge and Alex Highsmith on the edge, and Cam Hayward as well. Cameron Bennett, the way those guys are able to make things happen to themselves, that would be a big time front. We've seen the Eagles do that before. They overloaded their front. They went out there and got the Jordan Davis. They went out there and got Bond. They went out there and add those pieces up front. And now you see their team and their defense and everything is kind of like very strong. Jalen Carter and all those guys up front. And it makes it tough on teams like that. They're able to oppose their will and get to teams. And that's why they've been a top team in sacks for the past few seasons. And also on the offensive side, the offensive line, they've done a good job at that. And also run the ball too as well effectively with Saquon Barkley. That's why they're Super Bowl champions. That's why they've been to the Super Bowl 2 times in the past, 2 or 3 years. So 2 times in the past with 2 out of 3 years. The past they went with the Chiefs, and then they missed that year. They went the year after, so they've been playing very good. So I feel like the Steelers should follow that approach a little bit and build up that defensive line front, add those pieces up there in the front, and that'd be nice. But Mason Graham is another far-fetched guy. And the last person, of course, is Shedeur Sanders. That's another far-fetched one. I feel like Shedeur Sanders would be phenomenal here. The Steelers could possibly trade up for Shedeur Sanders. The Panthers said they are looking to maybe trade back in the draft. There's rumors that they could trade back. We see reports about that. They said they'd be willing to do it. But maybe the Steelers make a deal with them. Like I mentioned before last time on the channel, the first-round picks the Steelers have had the past 10 years, they haven't really did anything with them. The person you can think of is TJ Watt, who's Hall of Fame level, and then Najee Harris. Played well, 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, but he's not on the team anymore. So really, TJ Watt is the only person who's done anything that's like, okay, this is like elite level first-round stuff. He actually outplayed him. When he got picked, he got picked the 30th pick, I think. He was 29th, 30th, something like that. He got picked late in the later in the rounds and stuff. So TJ Watt getting to the Steelers. It's nice. Getting to the Steelers is nice and stuff. But besides him, you drafted Artie Burns in the first round. You had the Jarvis Jones, and you had the Ross Shazier was cool, but his career came short, from the injuries, of course. But Kenny Pickett, is that a spider or something? But Kenny Pickett. And they really haven't had a lot of success really. So it's kind of like, you're kind of just you kind of hold on to those first round picks. But you might could just use them. Trade away. We see the Rams do before, and they got a Super Bowl, and they're still a competitive team. They still got to the playoffs many times. They still compete, getting the title games and stuff like that. So I feel like the Steelers should go that approach. If you want to get that big time player, and you see this guy as your guy, trade up and see what happens. But we have to kind of wait and see. But this is kind of the prospects I have. The Steelers could go maybe in the first round. Let me know down below what you guys think the Steelers could do in the first round. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Tune in also to the Arsenal D.B channel, my other channel, for my mock draft that will be later today. So tune in for that as well. So yeah, peace out.